Hello guys, we are back with our next lecture. In this lecture, let us go through the fourth routing algorithm, that is nothing but distance vector routing. Guys, this is one of the most important topic guys, because this topic can be asked as an LAQ in your examinations if you are writing theoretical examinations, okay? And it's one of the most easiest algorithm also guys. If you understand the concept behind it, you'll be having a clear idea and you can solve. If there is given a problem also, you can solve it, okay? Okay, so first let us understand the given name guys. So distance vector routing. So basically here in this method you will be maintaining a vector table guys with all the routing possibilities, and you will be storing it step by step. You will be doing some processes and you will be storing it, you will be updating it guys. Okay. Okay, so first let us go through the definition given. Okay, so in distance vector routing, the least cost route between two nodes is the route with minimum distance. Okay, so the main goal of any routing algorithm is to find the shortest distance between any two nodes guys. Okay, so in this protocol, as the name says, each node maintains a vector, that is nothing but a table of minimum distances to every node. So by using this method you can do operations on any node guys. Okay, so there are three main steps here guys. So that those are nothing but initialization, sharing and updating. Guys, we'll be discussing this with an example guys, so don't worry, please concentrate for some time, you'll be getting a clear idea. So it is also called as Ben-Manifold routing algorithm. Okay, so the first step is initialization. So from the name you can say, so you are initializing something. So the process of initialization is nothing but, so if this is an example, okay, so from 1 where you can go guys, you can only go to 2, and the distance between 1 to 1 is 0. So that is what you will be storing in the table guys. 2 is nothing but where you can go, and cost is nothing but the cost to go. N1 is showing the next possibility, like via which you are going. So N1 to N2, it is 1, N1 to N1 is 0, and the rest are all infinity. Similarly we did for each and every table guys. So if you want me to say for N3, here we are having N2 equal to 6 and N4 equal to 2, and N3 to N3 is 0, and rest are infinity. Simple? Yes. So in this way you will be filling or initializing the values guys. Okay, so each node can have an idea about the distances between itself and their neighbors directly connected. So basically here it is having only idea of beside neighbors, right? So if you know, assume that you know only about your neighbors guys. You don't know about how to go N1 to N5. You have no idea. You only see N2's house. So you think that you can go to N2. Could be a possibility from N2 you can go to N5, but you don't know about that. So in the initial stages, right? Yes. So that is nothing but initialization. Only directly connected things you will be considering. So each node will send a message to its intermediate node or immediate nodes, like neighbor nodes, to find the distances between itself and their neighbors. Okay. So the distance for any entry that is not a neighbor will be infinity. So in this way you will be filling the table for a particular tree guys. Okay, tree or graph, anything you can call it. Okay. Okay, so once you are done with it, so the next step is nothing but sharing guys. Okay, so here a simple logic will be, okay, so you know your distances, he knows his distances, he knows his distances, N1 knows N1's distances, N2 knows N2's distances, N4 knows N4's distances. So if these two guys share their tables, and if they add up those values somehow, they could find the path between 1 to 3 or 1 to 5, right? So there is a possibility. So that is what they will be doing guys. So they will be sharing the idea of, they will be doing sharing the root guys. So they will remember that they will only share the values, that is nothing but the cost, because in all the possibilities we are having the same order N1 to N5, right? So instead of sharing the whole table, that will be a waste of cost. So they will be sharing only the cost row or column, what will you call it, the cost column. They will be sharing only that column. Okay, so now let us go through the theory. The whole idea of a distance vector routing is a sharing of the info between the neighbors. Info is nothing but the distance vector. Remember that it is only about the distance vector, it is not the whole table. Please remember that. So who can share with whom guys? N1 can share with N2, and N2 can share with N1, N5 and N3. N3 can share with N2 and N4. N4 can share with N3 and N5. Similarly, N5 can share with N2 and N4. That's what I have written here. Okay, so I have written a small note guys. shared only with the neighbors. So you will be sharing only with your neighbors, guys. You will not be sharing with other guys. So if you assume here, you will not say that n1 is sharing data with n4 or n3 or n2. It is going to share only with n2. Okay, in that way, only to its neighbors it will be sharing, and only distance vector is shared, not the whole table. Please remember that also, because in one of our next algorithm we will be sharing the whole table, guys. So there and here you will be getting a confusion that then why we are using table or anything. Okay, so once we got the table, we will be performing a process called updating. Okay, so I'll be showing you an example for updating, guys. So here is an example. So assume that you received this from n2. So I hope everyone remembers n2, right? Okay, so n2 is this node and n1 is this node. This is the intermediate node for n5, n3 and n1. Okay, so this is the values you got. So 1, you can go to n1, 0, in 6, 8 and 3. So we got all these values, and the only possible place which n2 cannot go is n4, guys. If you notice in the diagram also, that's the same situation. Okay, so now you got these values from n2, and similarly you already have the table of yourself. That is nothing but n1's table you are having. Okay, so now compare both the tables, guys. Okay, so first thing you can identify by simply is that, so n1 cannot go to n4, whereas n2 can also not go to n4. So you can blindly, like humans, I'm saying with respect to humans, you can directly say that n4 the final result will be infinity. Yes, that's true. Similarly, in the initial stages, so from n1 to n1, here the cost is minimum, that is 0, whereas here it is 1. So which is minimum? Directly you can select 0. Similarly here, to n2, here it is nothing but n2 to n2, right? Whereas here it is n1 to n2. We are calculating from n1 to n2, so it is 1 only. Yes. Similarly here it is infinity, 6. So basically you need to first go from, so remember in this way. So from n1 to n2 the cost is 1, guys. So for everything, if you select from n2, you need to add +1 for it. Okay. So now assume that you are at n3. So here the cost is infinity, whereas here the cost is 6. So I told you the cost to go from n1 to n2 is a 1. So you'll be costing a cost of 1. Then you'll be adding 6 for it, and you'll be getting 7 as the result. So we got here. Similarly, it is infinity, so we cannot do anything. So n5, here it is infinity and here it is 3. So from here you should go to n2 first. So n2 the cost is 1. 1 plus 3 is nothing but 4. So we got this. So if you want me to explain this in terms of how computer will be doing it. So initially it will be skipping the n1 because it is calculating n1 to n1, right? So there is no sense in doing the same thing, right? Yes. So now let us do for n2. Okay, so basically what it will be doing is, it will be traveling from n1, sorry, okay, so now it's clear, right? So okay, so now from n1 it will travel to n2. Okay, from n2 it will travel to the endpoint. So assume that you are trying to travel from n1 to n4. So it will be divided into in this way: n1 to n2, n2 to n4. So it will be adding the result to get the new result. Okay, so that's what I have written here. For n2, n1 to n2 and n2 to n2. So here the cost is 0 and here the cost is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay, so you gone through n1. Similarly, n1 to n2, and so here we are doing for n3. So n1 to n3, right? So divided into two parts: n1 to n2 plus n2 to n3. So we divided it n1 to n2 and n2 to n3. Here the cost is 1, here the cost is 6. So it is directly 7. Similarly, n1 to n2. So here we are doing for 4, n1 to n4 and n2 to n4. So here we have a cost, but here it is infinity. So something plus infinity is nothing but infinity, guys. Okay, similarly for n5, n1 to n2 and n2 to n5. So we got the cost 4. So in this way it continues, guys. So here we did share with only with our neighbors, right? So in this way you will be doing one time, and you will be doing this continuously, guys. You will not stop until you get the final value. So until the tables are not updating, you will be continuing it. And in between also you will be repeating this, because there might be an issue, right? Sorry for that. There might be an issue with n2. Due to some issues, the n2 might be lost. So then again the process will be restarting. So that is the reason why this process should continue continuously. So similarly, all the tables are updated, and again, and sharing is done, updating is done. This process keeps on continuing. Okay. So here after 2 or 3 iterations, we get the final tables with distances between any of these nodes. Okay. So I hope everyone got a basic idea about this distance vector routing, guys. So there is a small drawback in it, guys. So just give me a second. I'll be back in a moment. Okay. Sorry for that. So there is a basic disadvantage in this method, guys. So basically here we are observing and we are sharing in between nodes, right? So we don't know whether there exists a path originally or not, but our previous or our neighbor is saying there is existing a path via me, so I'll be taking you, don't worry about your path. So if you assume here, so from directly from n1 we are not having to n3, right? But n2 we got the data from n2 and it is saying that from n2 I'll be taking you for a cost of 6. So if you can come from your place to my place for with the cost of 1, we both can go directly to there with the cost of total of 7. So in that way we are updating it, right? So but there is a small drawback in it, guys. Okay, so let's take a small example. So here there is an internet and a BAC. Okay, so assume that you are going from internet, you started. So here to here the distance is 1. Whereas here to here via B you can go and the distance is 2. Here to here you can go directly, that is nothing but 3. So I have just cancelled them, guys. Okay, so every node is having a value, right? So assume that suddenly this got disconnected. Okay, so that's what I have just drawn here. So assume that this got disconnected, guys. So now indirectly this distance will be going to infinity, right? So this will be asking why to B, whether there is any path to internet, like whether there is any path, it will be asking this node. So it will be saying that okay, come on, let us go at a cost of 2. So indirectly it will be adding 2 plus 3 and it will be getting 3 as the value. Okay, so similarly if this is asking, it will be again incrementing and it will become 4, and this process continues till infinity, guys. So basically there is no particular path, but they are assuming that he will be taking, but there exists no path between them. Okay, so in this way the loop continues, guys. So every node distance to internet. Now the above diagram is a normal scenario. Assume that the link between B is breaked. So this is the major disadvantage in distance vector routing. So I hope everyone got a small idea. So to resolve this issue, we came up with link state routing. Okay, so in the next lecture we will be discussing about link state routing. Okay, so let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you, thanks for watching.